Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. Thank you for joining me. I'm delighted you actually found my little channel. So, there's been a lot going on in the last, there's been a lot going on in the last 2.5 years. But there's really been a lot going on kind of in the last week or so. I mean, you have, oopsie, I'm dropping things. You have Trump sort of, antagonizing half of the world and insulting the other, the other half of the world. It's ridiculous. So he appears to me, and God knows I'm no expert on this, but he appears to me to be becoming a little bit more unglued than even we have seen him up till now. He just seems to be becoming more and more erratic, more and more insulting, doing crazy things to sort of insert himself, his opinions, his thoughts, his attitudes into stuff, honestly, that has nothing to do with him. And, like the kind of job the mayor's doing, or what he thinks of members of the royal family. It's crazy. So, I have a question. And the question I want to tackle right now is Trump going to be impeached, or is he going to... Okay, so a couple months ago, I did a reading, and at that time I said that I felt that there would be the beginnings of the impeachment investigations, that would start. But I didn't think that it would get all the way to an impeachment vote. The strategy, I felt, was kind of simple. It was like, start the investigations so that this is in the news. The drip, 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 the constant sound bites, the televised hearings. But don't move it along so fast that you're forced to send it to the Senate, where Mitch McConnell, one of the slimiest people on the planet, I'm convinced, certainly one of the most corrupt, it's just not, it's not going to get passed. He has control of the Senate, and the Senate is Republican. So the best strategy is to keep it in the news, but don't actually take it to a place where it's going to get defeated, and then you have given Trump an amazing soapbox. So I want to do a layout and just see if that information, that sort of energy, is what is still around us. Sorry, I had cards flying around. I needed to bend down and retrieve them. Okay, so one more quick shuffle, and let's just see what the cards tell us. So, is Trump actually going to be impeached, or will he manage to escape that? Okay, we're going to cut this deck. Oopsie, it's a little bit low. Gonna cut this deck and see what we see. Okay, well, we have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck, so what's underlying this reading is going to be the law, the rule of law, having the law work the way it's supposed to, protecting the law. It's all about the strength of laws. So let's see what the cards say. Okay. This is very often my card for Trump, the King of Money. It's the way he perceives himself, right? Grander than he is, and has spent his whole life trying to be a king. Okay. So we've got Trump sitting at the top of the reading. You have the Strength card here. You have the Six of Pentacles, and you have the Seven of Cups. So you have kind of illusions, things not being what they seem, multiple choices, so literally multiple ways of maneuvering through to achieve a goal. You have somebody controlling, you know, finances. You have somebody controlling the physical steps that need to happen. And there's this continual trying to keep a balance. And you have the Strength card. So this line is basically telling me that there isn't enough strength, there is enough reason to actually go ahead with the impeachment hearings and literally the impeachment trial, you know, the trial, the vote that goes to Senate. However, one of the other things that the Strength card talks about is sort of taming the beast, knowing when to pull back and knowing when to kind of move forward. So this is sort of telling me that for right now anyways, Nancy Pelosi is still taming the beast. She still has, you know, her caucus under control, and she does not want this thing to move ahead in a great big hurry. And her reasoning for that is sound. It may not be what we all want. I mean, I think, you know, most of the world wants the drama of seeing him being impeached. Okay, most people actually want to see him frog marched out of the White House. But she's understanding that sometimes you have to slow down the process so that you can make it work to your advantage. And the beast that she's calming is really her own caucus. It's keeping them under control. And so far, right now, she has done that. There is a balance that is being searched for. The best way to accomplish the goal. What can we? How can we? When can we? These are all considerations. And this card very often, as I said, represents, you know, illusions and delusions. But one of the other things that it represents is a multitude of choices, of not knowing which choice to make, of not knowing, you know, or recognizing that there are multiple routes to get, you know, to your goal. So there seems to be right now a lot of options and a lot hanging in the balance. And let's see what happens next. You have the Queen of Cups here. So very often the Queen of Cups, you know, represents an emotions, a woman, you know, and her emotions. But this is the only card in the cups that has a lid on it. So because it's sitting under the card, which is, you know, taming the beast, this is telling me that she is trying really hard to not make an emotional decision. She is trying to keep things under control and not let emotion sort of rule the day. You've got the Knight of Swords charging in here. And, you know, the Knight of Swords is quick movement, and let's get this done, and let's charge ahead, and I'm kind of the, you know, the mercenary, and I want to do this, and I'm going to take it. Again, she's trying to keep sort of that energy balanced. She understands that going forward, one of the most effective ways of dealing with Trump is to bind him, is to lock him into places where he can't maneuver, where he doesn't have as much power and control, literally, where he is blindfolded and his hands are tied. One of the most brilliant ways to accomplish that is to start the hearings and let that slow drip, drip, drip of information help be what binds Trump. It's not a bad strategy. Okay. You've got the Five of Cups here, so you're talking about, disappointment. You're talking about things not going the way he wants. Well, the he in this case is Trump. And that there's sort of a stalemate. There's a period of waiting. There's kind of not a lot of movement forward at this time. And final card is about partnerships. So, quickly, what this is telling me is that Trump is going to face a disappointment. He is going to be kind of blocked, right? He's going to not have a lot of maneuverability. He's going to be held in place. And the partnership, it's sort of interesting, because what I'm getting from that is that if they can allow the impeachment hearings to move forward, but move slowly forward, they will create new partnerships with some members of the Republican Party, because a lot of people who follow and are loyal to the Republican Party get a lot of their news, of course, from conservative news sites. And they're not exactly being told the whole story, are they? I mean, they're not being told the truth. They're listening to Barr, who's very, very busy telling them that there's, no collusion, no obstruction. So, if the Democrats play their cards right, they will actually be able to create some additional partnerships and strike through those partnerships, so that they can get some Republicans on side with them. There will be enough information going out through the airwaves, through all the vast variety of social media, that what Trump has done, how he has behaved, is going to be exposed. And I believe that this includes the unredacted memo coming out, or the Mueller's report coming out, and the money being released. I think at some point Mnuchin is simply not going to have any options. So, for right now, it strikes me from the energy I'm reading that, in fact, the working theory for right now appears to be drag things along, eventually start the impeachment hearings, get that information out there, but don't rush it so fast that you actually have to take it to McConnell and a Senate vote, which is, going to fail. So, for right now, that's the energy I read in terms of whether or not Donald Trump will or will not be impeached. Thank you so very much for finding me. I hope you've enjoyed my little video, and if you have, please like and subscribe. It means a very great deal to me. It's such a brand new channel, so let me know what you think. Take care now. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.